Yeah, this is Paul Spear, and I'm here with Ken Blinsman today to talk about the Boys and Girls Club of South County. And we think of the Boys and Girls Club so much here of Imperial Beach, but you actually cover a much larger area than Imperial Beach, don't you?
That's true. We have another facility in Chula Vista, and so we obviously service the city of Chula Vista and Imperial Beach, and then the in-between communities of South San Diego and San Ysidro. We did combine our organizations in 2009. The Chula Vista Club was facing some financial straits, and so we merged the clubs to cut some administrative expenses, but we wanted to keep the continuity of Boys and Girls Club programming there. So when we merged our facilities, or our clubs, we became Boys and Girls Clubs in South County, and we're in our 7th year doing that. Most of the energy inspired through the Imperial Beach Club. A lot of the board members that were on our board when we merged are still on there, and Imperial Beach was really the heart and the energy of it, and our board's been very supportive. And when we went into Chula Vista and started getting into the community there, it's another great community. A little different. It's not a surfing community like you mentioned, but there's still a lot of sports. Baseball and soccer are huge. The Chula Vista Club has a Small Wonders preschool program, open daily from 2 on up. And the kids that are in the preschool program, a lot of them graduate to the Boys and Girls Club program after they're done with their preschool. We take and we service a number of schools. We transport about 200 kids a day, about 150 over in Chula Vista and 50 in Imperial Beach. And that's where most of the kids come from when they come to the club, is through the transportation program. They don't walk to the club.
Right. No more riding bikes and walking to the club then.
Yeah, none of that stuff. It's all transportation. So the parents feel very safe to trust us with their children. We have 2 new buses added to our fleet,
Yes,
which is really
yes.
nice, and it adds a little pride, obviously, to ride in the new buses. They were purchased through a community grant through Supervisor Cox's office last year.
And not only 2 new buses, but a nice paint job.
Yeah, we've done quite a bit of things at the IB Club to spruce it up a little bit through Habitat for Humanity, and they came in with a couple hundred volunteers, and not only did the club, but they did some houses in the community as well. But they really spruced up with new paint on both facilities, the clubhouse and the gymnasium. They also put a new dance floor in for us, and they also did a new front counter for us.
Yeah.
And the counter had been there since 1966, and it was an emotional experience to let it go. But it's nice to have a nice new counter right now, and it's a little lower for the kids. We do have a check-in and out system that they need to scan in when they come in, so it makes it a lot easier to come straight off the bus and scan in and get into the program right away.
Right. Now, and you had mentioned 7 years since Chula Vista, but it's been actually, you're in the 50th year
Yeah.
of here in Imperial Beach.
Yeah, 50th year in Imperial Beach. We are planning a alumni reunion on March 31st. That's in 2017. That's on a Friday, and it will be the culmination of National Boys and Girls Club Week. And we're going to obviously advertise our alumni reunion at the national level and see what kind of attention we get. We have right now currently about 350 database alumni members that we're in contact with. We have recently established a relationship with our first couple of boys club members at the club.
Mm-hmm.
We have our first boy of the year, Randy Milligan, will hopefully be at the alumni. He's been at our golf tournaments. We had an alumni golf tournament last year, and just really starting to focus on some of our alumni, and they know what the club experience is about, so I don't have to sell that to them. They already know what that is, so they feel good to be able to support the club.
Right. Now, if somebody's an alumni and they want to find out more about this,
Yep.
How do they find out about it?
Well, they can look me up on Facebook, on Ken Blinsman, and that's
Okay.
where all the alumni information
So they're
is
not
at.
going to the Boys and Girls Club page, they're going to Ken Blinsman.
Yes, and I'm very fortunate to have went to the club since 1968. I was a member at 8 years old, and
So
I
you
grew up
were one of the very first members then as well.
yes. After a few years, the club had been open 2 years before I went, but I still was
Yeah,
right there
that
at the
put you
beginning.
up there in
I
the
was still
beginning,
right there
yeah.
at the beginning, and it's neat to connect again with all these, not just alumni, but club staff as well. And through the Facebook page, I've come to realize that we've made impacts on a lot of kids' lives, and a lot of these stories and things that changed kids' lives I wasn't really aware of at the time, because we were just having fun. We're out there playing games and just helping kids grow up. We'd give them some guidance. We would take them on trips to Disneyland and camping and field trips, and the kids just loved the experience. But sometimes they would really get down to, you saved my life, or you kept me off drugs. And it's not just about me, it's about the staff I've worked with throughout the years, and posting some of the staff pictures has really spurred memories of, hey, I remember when I was in Jordan's group or Matt's group, and it's really made me realize that all of our staff connect with kids, and we change kids' lives. And
Yeah, well, we talked about that. I mean, coaches and teachers growing up, I can probably tell you most of the coaches and most of the teachers' names I had, especially the ones that touched me, and there were quite a few.
Yeah, and it's amazing how you just don't forget those individuals. And I feel very blessed to have been at the club so long to hear that. And most of the employees with my staff at the club, my leadership, the team has been with me for over 10 years, but a lot of staff, especially on the group leaders and playground leaders, it's just a part-time job. They're going to school, they're offsetting their hours, and so they'll come and go. We have a lot of turnover at the club, and those staff that are there for a short time, they don't realize that impact they made. And having been there so long to now hear it, it's a different view again on how important it is in our programs to mentor children and make an impact every day.
Yeah.
And
Even down at the smallest level.
Yes, yeah. And like you mentioned, through coaches and stuff, I think sports is a big thing for the club. I think we have a strong sports program. We have a strong program. We have a great athletic league in our Boys and Girls Club of Imperial Beach. It's really been the backbone for 50 years. We have school teams for all the 12 elementary schools that play at the Boys and Girls Club, and Fridays and Saturdays, if you ever go down there for basketball or soccer, the facility is just packed. And it's just a great experience for the kids, not only to play in a league like that, they get to meet kids from other schools, which helps them as they get into middle school and high school. It builds confidence for them, and it's really the height of our programming. And I'm happy to say we're the only Boys and Girls Club in San Diego County that's open regularly on Saturdays, and it's because of our athletic program. And it also creates a school pride for the kids, and they have their own separate cheerleading team, and the parents will come out and be the boosters and buy food for the team, and it's really a neat experience for the kids. And just like you had mentioned, those coaches teach kids how to grow up and to be good sports, and winning is not everything. And even though I know kids, it's important for them to win, but there's other things that are more important. It's the sportsman piece.
Being part of that team and picking up that one that's down.
Yep. And we also realize that sports is not for everybody, and so we offer other activities. We have homework help. We are again still getting homework done for parents, and having been a parent of 4 children, I know how valuable off time is with your kids. And when you're off work and you get home a little late, and you get dinner going and get showers, and it's hard to find homework time sometimes. And so having that homework done at the club, staff will check the homework to make sure it's correct. So when the parents come in, they tell the parent that the homework's either complete, or hey, maybe they've struggled on this one problem, they have one more left. And so we just have that communication there.
Well, that's great, because then, as you say, they can have a little bit more time of being a parent rather than go to your homework, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah. You say you only get a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
And a lot of times our staff realize, just like teachers, sometimes you spend more time with the child and the parents get to spend with the child, so you have a big impact on that child, and being a mentor is a very important thing for children to have. And
Yeah.
we're very lucky to be able to help them with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're actually doing quite a bit now with seniors as well, aren't you?
Yeah, we're in our third year of running the Imperial Beach Parks and Recreation Department for the city. We have expanded adult leagues. We play adult softball, which is co-ed. Again, winning's not really important. It's more about the experience and getting out there and having fun with other people in the community. There are some good teams, but most of the teams are just out there for fun.
Right.
And we've expanded. We have an adult basketball league that we run out of Sports Park, and then we also have recreation classes for seniors, Tai Chi and yoga and Zumba, and all the fees that are collected through the adult recreation classes help support the program at Sports Park. And it's really neat to see the community's adults come out to help support kids.
Right.
And they're getting the physical fitness aspect out of it as well. So,
Right.
it's
So there's
really
some
great.
programs for some of those that there's bones don't move
That's
quite as
right.
fast as they used to.
That's
we can,
neat. That's
we can
neat.
do some of these other programs and
Yep.
get some good stretching exercises. And
Mm-hmm. And it's a little unusual for a Boys and Girls Club to also serve adults, but we feel it's good to tie the community together. A lot of the adults went to the club when they were children anyway, or they went to Little League, or they went to girls softball. And along with those two organizations, I think we have a very strong sports park program down there. And every time I go there in the afternoon, I see a lot of teens come over from our Vista High School, and the adults are gone by the time the teens are there. We do adult classes in the morning, and we'll do some later at night for those at work. And in between, we have the teen activities there. And right now, we have Bo over there. This seems to be doing pretty good at the sports park program. He's our interim director right now, and I'm pretty confident he's going to make it through his interim period and probably be the
great,
next
I'll have to
director.
go down and meet him.
I think you'll like Bo.
Yeah.
Bo does also work part-time for the KUSI Pigskin Report, so he's very comfortable with videos and Facebook and stuff
Okay.
like that. And he's put together some cool videos, and he's really helped connect KUSI with the club. We've been on the news a few times through his connection.
Oh, great.
So it's been a good experience for us.
Great. Now, actually, you had Aaron do the speaking the other day at our Kiwanis Club,
Yeah.
and I heard him sneak in there, and he didn't spend a lot of time on it, but you guys actually received a rather prestigious award this last year.
Yes, through Boys and Girls Clubs of America in the Pacific region. We received the award for serving the highest, we had the highest attendance growth in the Pacific region of Boys and Girls Clubs of America. There's 281 clubs in the Pacific region, and we were number one in attendance growth. We were serving a little bit over 2,700 kids a day.
Wow.
It's really been an experience. Sometimes I can't grasp how we got so large. When I first started at the Boys Club, we only had 6 staff. It seemed like you had your hands around everything, and all of a sudden you get opportunities with school contracts and merging organizations and rec departments, and all of a sudden you realize, well, we got a large organization. We have 175 employees. We have a $3.5 million budget. And I wonder how we got there sometimes. It's so big, but like you mentioned, Aaron and I've got another staff I have are just top-notch professionals, and they run each of the sites and the departments for me, and I'm more focused on board and fundraising and finances and stuff like that, and they concentrate on the kid programs that we do. And we were lucky to see that attendance reward. We got to go to the Pacific Leadership Conference and get a nice a crystal award from the president, Jim Clark, and it's really connected us to the club. We do have a good connection at Boys and Girls Clubs of America. One of our donors made a rather large bequest gift to Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and that was through our relationship, so we definitely are on the radar at the national level. And he also made a nice bequest gift of $1 million to the club to be put into our endowment program. And we're proud about our endowment program because that will generate funds in the future to keep the club open, and we won't have to fundraise. And Bud Webb has been very instrumental in establishing the endowment program. After he built a gymnasium, we started thinking about long-term funding, and he started the endowment program. And we have Frank Tassin, Rankin Van Anda, Bob Miller, and Bud Webb, and Mark Nagels on our endowment committee, and they definitely will go out and look for endowment gifts, and then we look how to best invest that money. And it's starting this year. We're starting to have enough money generated. We have a little over $1 million in our endowment now. When we get the gift, we'll have over $2 million, obviously, and it's starting to generate enough money where we can at least pay for a full-time position at the club and have it funded through endowment. And it just really ensures that the club will be open in the future,
Right.
as things change. So that's been an exciting time for us.
Yeah. And you had an exciting time this summer.
Yeah, I got to go on Extra with Mario Lopez, and Mario was a Chula Vista Boys Club alumni. He wrestled at the club, and it really taught him again that going back to sports, it gives a foundation to a lot of things, and through that he got confidence to go into drama and then into acting, and obviously now he's on, Saved by the Bell, and he's now a huge star on Extra.
Yeah.
And through Dairy Queen, they gave a $50,000 donation to the Chula Vista Club. And it was focused to help teens get into the program for the summer that maybe couldn't afford the program otherwise. And so we were able to fund quite a few teams that the Chula Vista Club did last year through that $50,000 grant.
And that just shows how much of people's lives that the club does actually touch.
Yeah. We've had quite a few great alumni come out of both the Chula Vista and Imperial Beach clubhouses, and some of our board members now are club alumni, and I really like to have club alumni on our board because I don't need to share the experience of the club. They know what the club did for them, so that part's easy. And now we're learning how to raise money for the club, and that's what I help with the board. And currently our board raises a little over $100,000 a year for the club, and we continue to grow. But when you stop and think, raising $100,000 in a small community here they do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. So, and there are a lot of families that need help with sending their children.
Yeah.
And you don't turn children away because of finances.
We never turn a child away. No, never turn a child away. We do feel that families that can pay for the service should pay, but we also have sponsorship programs that those that can't pay, we'll get them sponsored in there. We also work out a deal. Sometimes parents will come down and volunteer and be coaches and refs and teen moms and stuff like that, so they get back to the club. And we try to have a little buy-in like that. We definitely want the family involved with the club as much as we can, mom or dad or both. But I think that's an important piece to have to share with their parents. This is what they do at the club.
Yeah. Well, I think the more the parents are involved, usually the better.
Yeah, we definitely think so. One of our, we do have a member that's been on our board for over 50 years, Paul Odermatt, and he helped build the Boys Club in IB, and he's been on our board very dedicated for 50 years, and he still continues to help us, and he doesn't get down to the club too often, but when he does, he loves to see what's going on and where his donations have went to.
Yeah, I saw him last November at one of your special events that you hold for the community.
Yeah, our Feed the Kids event. We're getting ready to plan that again. It's been an annual event for 20 plus years, and we do it the day before Thanksgiving. We open the doors early for our seniors, and we probably get 40 to 50 seniors that come down there, and adults that want to have a Thanksgiving dinner with their friends, and sometimes that might be their Thanksgiving dinner, and many of them don't have families, so it's a great experience to have a little bonding Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, it's very important.
And then we do get the kids coming in after the seniors, but we found a lot of our seniors stay through the whole event. They just love having the kids around them as well, and we have the Charger girls come down, and that adds a neat element for the kids and the adults. And we've been very fortunate to have Chef Joaquin take over Feed the Kids, He took over when the creator of Feed the Kids, Bill Hickson, passed away, and he wanted to step in his honor to continue that tradition. Last year, Lowe's Coronado Bay Resort cooked over 40 turkeys for us, and Chef Joaquin cooked all the rest. And his group of volunteers came in and carved all the turkeys and got everything fixed up in the morning. And it's just a neat experience. He's so organized, and we could not do the program if we didn't have him involved.
Yes.
And he really admired Bill Hickson, who did it for almost 20 years, and every year seems to grow a little bit more. And we're getting to the part where we can't really grow too much more because we can't house everybody. So we have kids come in rotations and that feed the kids, and it's just been an annual event for the community. The firefighters, the police officers, the Kiwanis Club all provide volunteers and all help serve and clean up, and it's a neat community event. It really kicks off the holiday spirit, I think, for Imperial Beach.
Yeah, it certainly does.
And it's free.
Yeah.
You know, and we try to do a lot of things like that. At Christmas time over at the Chula Vista Club, we have breakfast with Santa. And again, Chef Joaquin will bring his crew in and cook all the pancakes and the sausage. And we've been very fortunate to have Walmart, and we've had Pacific Waste come in, and they support with over 100 gifts. Every child that has attended the last 6 years have all gotten gifts.
Oh, fabulous.
And again, some of their those gifts may be the only gifts those kids get for Christmas, and so we feel very important and blessed to be able to do that for them.
Yeah. And as you said, you've taken over the sports part for the city. You're getting adult classes in there now. That's really growing rather nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's one of the keys to make the sports park program successful is the adults pay for the kids. And as we expand the programs, we think we can raise a little more money to expand the programs for the children. We have a lot of teens over there in the afternoon, being right across the street from Mar Vista High School, so we've done a great job in connecting with them. Mar Vista's been very supportive. Come to the sports park. We lend the gym out to some of their teams and need gym time. And I know we were talking earlier about girls and having time to play. Sometimes the girls' teams will come over there. And we've had pep rallies there before the football games. We're planning on doing that again. I think that's been a really good community uplift build for us.
Yeah, that is.
It ties the high school in with us, and
yeah,
we've always struggled at boys clubs or boys and girls clubs. As kids get into their teens, we start to lose them as members because they're involved with high school and their team sports, and which is great, but we want to keep that connection with them because a lot of the teen kids, they don't realize they're stars to some of the littler 8- and 9-year-olds that see them when they go to Mar Vista football games or on the basketball court. They look up to some of those athletes.
Oh,
so
for
I like
sure.
to keep that connection there.
Yeah. And you now have games like a new game, pickleball, that's really popular.
Pickleball, it's up and coming. I guess it's been very popular in the city of Coronado, and they've ran out of space to play. And so they sort of navigated down to Imperial Beach. We've had a donor that made a donation to purchase all the equipment for pickleball, which is sort of like a ping pong tennis type of game, but low impact. A lot of the seniors, they would like to play that, and it's just been great.
Kind of a nice change from tennis where you can't run the court anymore.
That's exactly right. There's a lot of people like me that my mobility is pretty limited, but I can still do things like that, and it's just been a great experience for our club to reconnect with some of the seniors. And a lot of times, again, you don't think of Boys and Girls Club serving adults, but we do, and we're in a little different of a community here.
Yeah, you serve adults, you serve seniors, you serve children's team, you serve really the whole community.
Well, we try. We do partner. We partners with Camp Surf. They help us with our Feed the Kids dinner and some of our events, and they invite us to bring kids over from the club to spend the night and have a camp experience. And we've worked with the school districts, both Chula Vista and Imperial Beach, both the recreation department in Chula Vista. And we really try to partner with other groups. We can't do all the work ourselves, and we don't have all the resources either. But as we found, we partner with other people, and we can make an impact together.
Right.
And that, I think that's been a real good experience for us. And we sometimes don't have like a big marketing department or a marketing budget, so maybe we can partner with them. I know through the sports park contract, we're part of the contract is to maintain the grounds at Sports Park, and it's the largest park in the city. And we're fortunate enough to have Don Spicer, who's a former board member of the Boys and Girls Club, is now president of Little League. He does all the landscaping for us.
Yeah.
And we could not have that contract if it wasn't for Don.
Yeah.
Don has just been an amazing individual.
He's an amazing fellow, and seems to me he won a community award a couple of years ago for doing all that great job, and I think somebody else sitting here won that award the following year.
Yeah, I was very fortunate that Serge gave that award to me, and again, I'm very humbled by that experience. I don't really think I deserve it. I think it's more of the staff that work at the club that deserve that, and I'm just lucky to be the leader of the organization. That I really take that.
I think you put some good people underneath you, and that
that's
stresses the teamwork. And if you didn't have a great team,
yeah, we can't do nothing, and I can't do it by myself. And that's what I tell my board and all my staff is I need help. And Don has been very open to that. Obviously, being connected with the club back in the '90s when he was on our board. And aside from just doing the landscaping, he'll come and the Little League will sell a booth, or have a booth that sell hot dogs or little types of things at the Sandcastle Ball. His volunteers that come down and they've hung the flag in the gym for us. They'll come down and trim our trees at the club, and it goes way beyond just the landscaping. Don is just one of our great volunteers.
yeah,
And they're all over the place, We've Bud Webb, Don Hall, Gary Trishman, George Broadway, Christine Harlan, Mark Nagels. They've all been on our board for a while. They just keep giving and giving. And George and Jim King really spearheaded a restroom renovation at the IB Clubhouse that hadn't been renovated since the late '80s. So they were in desperate need of some TLC, and
yes.
Jim and George came in with their contacts and just renovated the restroom. They got really motivated when the Habitat project was going on, and they painted the outside and did some work, and that really spurred
new
pride.
outside, new restrooms.
Garden boxes that Cal Lamb is going to help us with, so we'll get into some of the gardening stuff with the kids. And we really try to do a lot of programs that we are teaching kids, but they don't realize they're learning. They think they're having fun.
Yeah,
and we can see that learning stuff in there, and that part's neat. And kids come down for those types of programs. And STEM is
that's really a blessing when they're doing stuff and having fun and they don't even realize they're learning.
No, but then they go home and they'll tell mom about the solar system or something. And then the parents are like, "Where'd you learn this at?" It's through the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
And we really try to supplement the learning from the school and things that get cut out of school budgets. We try to make sure we can give those programs to the kids because they're just as important. And for us, it's like that's one of our drives. And the school does a great job. We don't want the kids to feel like they're in school when they get out of the Boys and Girls Club and have like another school experience. It has to be more that recreation experience.
Right.
We've had a lot of times people will come in and he's looking, it's like, it looks chaotic.
Recreation's with a big part that's getting cut out of school. So
all
it really is even more important than
arts
ever.
and some sports, and especially girls' sports, and those things are still important. And for us to be able to help the school district, I think, creates a stronger partnership for us. And they continue to find ways to work with the Boys and Girls Club. We're getting ready to enter into an agreement with the school district and the Sweetwater Union School District to provide athletic programs for the middle school students in South Bay. And again, it attaches us to Sweetwater. We don't really have a connection with them, so now we're building a partnership with them, and that'll help the Chula Vista Club as well as Imperial Beach. And we value all of our partners, and we take them serious. And there's a lot of people out there that would like to help the club, and we're fortunate to be connected with them.
Yeah. Well, great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I wish you another happy anniversary. Again, the anniversary is coming up at the end of March.
March 31st.
March 31st.
You know, make sure you're invited. We'd like to have you come down as an honorary member and participate, and just to see some of the club alumni and the staff that have worked there over 50 years.
I'd love that. And I think after this we'll have to do a video tour of all the nice new upgrades the club's received, so everybody can see that. And as you mentioned, they're welcome to drop in. You don't want them coming through when the kids are there, obviously, or they have to come through the front desk.
They can come through the front desk, and even if they make an appointment and want to be there when the kids are there, I like that. I want people to come down and see. Obviously, we need to be with them. We value the security of the children while they're in our care. That's our number one priority, is to keep them safe.
Right.
And so we are real cautious about bringing outside adults into the program, but as long as they're escorted. I think one of the great things is to see the program in action. It's one thing to come down and just look at an empty building, but it's different when you feel the energy of the kids there.
Oh,
you
yeah.
see the work of the staff and what they're doing with the kids. And that only happens during the program. So anybody that wants to come down, they can make an appointment with me and come down to the Boys and Girls Club and schedule something. I'd love to tour the IB Club, the Sports Park, Chula Vista, and just see what we're doing. We have a lot of neat things going on.
Any of the facilities,
Yeah, and I think people know where we're at, but they just never been inside our building before. And I always am a believer, once we get somebody to step in our building, we've got them.
Yeah.
We've got them there because I know they're going to like what they see, and I feel confident about that. And whether they're a program volunteer or a financial backer or just an advocate for the club.
Well, you're touching so many people now, it's hard for them not to. I mean, you got the soccer going on there, the basketball programs with the schools playing the other schools.
Yeah, and a lot of parent involvement with that. And Fridays and Saturdays are usually our game days, and that's the two great afternoons to come to the club. On Saturdays is a large program. We're the only boys and girls club in San Diego County that's open on Saturdays. And that's when all the schools play, and you'll see sports teams and parent backers and cheerleaders, and some of the teachers will come out and watch the kids, the principals. So it's really a good school pride type of thing.
Yeah, because you have the schools, they're playing other schools.
They play other schools, and they get to know children from other schools, and then when they get to middle school and high school, they know some of these, and some relationships are developed. A lot of them might be playing on the same basketball team or the soccer team, that they started and learned a lot of fundamentals at the club.
Yeah.
So it's really neat. I hope people would come down and visit us down at the club.
Oh, great. Well, I thank you so much for your time, Ken.
Thank you, Paul.
It's always a pleasure.
A good advocate for us. We appreciate all you do on Big IB, and along with the Kiwanis Club and the Historical Society. You're a great community member, and I just see you as a desire to want to make where we're at better. And I appreciate all the marketing and advocacy you give to our club.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Anytime.
No, that's invaluable. We can't afford to pay for that, and bless you to be able to do so.